always loved tech. I was a gadget girl, so from the days of Nintendo and the days of AOL, I always a gadget girl, and so I knew I wanted to be involved in technology. And when I got to school, I came out during the first .com boom and moved to San Francisco and started working in technology. It's my first job. Yeah, so when I first started, I worked for a pretty large company, and when you're young in your career, there's tons of mentors. So I had a lot of people who gave me solid advice, told me to invest in my 401k. I was used to being broke, so max it out. So that was really solid. But as I aged in my career, mentors are really hard to find. I don't know anyone who looks like me that does what I do today. So that's challenging now. So I definitely have who I call corporate aunties who talk to me about grown-up things like you always need an employment lawyer or an accountant, a CPA, and how I need to persevere essentially through various obstacles in my career. But they're a lot harder to find now. Yeah, so I feel like my brand developed by itself when I started to prove who I was and tell people who I am. But it took me 15 years to get to that point. And I think I was unaware of who I was and who I was becoming. And really externally got affirmed when I was working for startups, when I started kind of building new technologies and new innovation and doing things in a space where no one looks like me, not gender, not race. And I think after that I became more confident in who I was and my abilities, and to kind of help tell my story to bring people up, to bring people into what I do, to get women into high-paying jobs and careers that we often shy from because we feel like we're not qualified, we're not good enough, we're not competent, or any of that. So I feel all that has really given me a platform to be more vocal and more unapologetic about who I am and what I do. So advice for entrepreneurial women, which is what I do as part of seeking and sourcing capital for women entrepreneurs. Number one, ask for more money. We don't ask for enough money. I see so many asks for like 100,000. The white boys are asking for $1 million. And so I think one, we should ask for more. We should give ourselves more credit in what we're doing and what we're building. One, be aggressive as possible. Get in front of people's faces. You have to show up. And I know it's hard because it's expensive, but send emails virtually, send strangers notes on LinkedIn. Use those platforms, find allies, find people who believe in what you do, and demonstrate your worth. And I think you have to decide if you're going to be a for-profit or non-profit and which route to go. And if you want people having stake in your business, right? So I think people want to fundraise all this capital. That means that now me as an investor has ownership of your capital, and do you want me on your cap table? So I think you have to be really thoughtful about it in the process as well. But number one, ask for more money. 3 keys to women in leadership. I think number one, ask for more. I can't say it enough. We don't negotiate our salaries enough. We don't negotiate additional compensation, shares of the company, equity. Get your stake. Value yourself, value your time. If you need time with your kids every Friday off, work from home, build something that works for you. So I think that's probably top in kind of women executive leadership. You know, not just opting into what they give you, challenge it, and ask for what you need. I think number 2, find your allies, who's for you, and have them speak for you, and tell them to speak for you. Be unapologetic about your ask. When you do good, let the people know, because oftentimes women we're not typically braggadocious. We don't talk about all the great work that we're doing. So sometimes you gotta toot your own horn, and it may feel uncomfortable, but sometimes people don't know your story. They don't know what you've been building, and we are typically in a lot of support roles, and we're probably doing the job of the people we support. I was chief of staff, and I was doing the job as an EVP, right? I was behind the scenes doing all the work, and people didn't know that. And I think we need to, one, take our credit and get that. And then number 3, if the role's not working for you, pivot, do something else. So I think oftentimes we stay in positions way too long that aren't working for us. We're not getting affirmed, validated, compensated, and we try to stick it out because we're fearful. And I think, if it's not, pivot, do something else. You'll be okay, and you'll be a lot happier for it. My name is Lisha Bell, Deal Flow Lead for Pipeline Angels.